Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you on your way. The content it never stays. More positive and uplifting. Once a week the scope gifted. There's zero fake. Hydration like Boucher.
What is going on, everyone? I hope you all can hear me. Let's see. I always make a mistake and don't make sure that I have the right microphone selected. So give me just a second so that I can see, and I don't. Here we go. Now the right microphone is selected. You should not hear a whole bunch of noise and everything. I should have done that before I came on, but no worries. We're here. Welcome to another episode of MediaScope, a Saturday morning MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. In case you're wondering, I am Tachi, Dr. Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist, and quite good of a journalist, if I do say so myself. We have a couple of people here. D. Carpio is here. Welcome. Good morning. I hope you're doing well, D. I'm happy to see you. Also, Hannah is here. Hannah Boyd Miller joining us from Kentucky. Kentucky. That's how my mother would say it. She would say Kentucky Fried Chicken instead of Kentucky. So Kentucky, welcome up. And Bryson is also joining us here from, Bryson, you're in DC, I think, right? The DC area. Welcome. Either that or New York, but it's either DC or New York. Wherever you are, I welcome you. And D says, welcome to everyone. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I didn't send out a bat signal to folks, but I did put up something on my socials like 5 minutes ago. So you should be able to see that. Hopefully, let me know if you saw my thingy. I'll probably send out a bat signal to some people as we're talking, but let's get to it. Let me give you a hug. I am giving you this hug to let you know I appreciate you being here. Saturday morning is top tier errand running time. So I'm very excited that you all decided to join me. And maybe you're listening as you are running errands, you're eating breakfast. And guess what? Since it's morning, let's have breakfast together. Go ahead and get your tea, get your coffee, get your scrambled eggs or whatever it is that you eat, or even if it is just a protein bar. Have breakfast with me. Breakfast with MediaScope. Listen, remember, guys, that I used to do a show called Media Meets Brunch? I did it for a little, probably about 2 years, 3 years ago, for a few episodes. We're at Breakfast with MediaScope, or whatever I'm going to call it. All right, this is good. It's a breakfast show. So welcome in. And Bryson said, yes, he is in the DMV area. Yes, in the DMV. Welcome in. And oh, thank you so much, D. I love you more. So, and I appreciate you for being here. Thank you, everyone that is here. Oh, look who is here. Making up for lost time. The food plane said I made it on time for the hug. You did. I'm glad. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This is awesome. We've got a bunch of folks in. The whole gang is kind of trickling in. Let's make it work, shall we? All right. So we're going, well, you know what? Let me stop being rude. How is everybody this morning? And put in the chat what you are eating this morning. Food plane, I know it's got to be something amazing like Hennessy encrusted French toast. No, that's an Atlanta restaurant. But in any case, let me know what you are noshing on as you're watching or what you're going to have. Maybe you're going to brunch in a little bit. Maybe you're on your way to brunch. Let me know what you are going to have. You know, I've been so disappointed with restaurants lately. I don't know about you all, but because I'm so used to eating and cooking at home, when I go out, sometimes I taste things and I'm like, meh. I went out to a restaurant the other day with some friends. It wasn't the other day, it was actually last month, let me tell the truth. And it was a seafood restaurant, and I ended up getting shrimp and grits. It was meh, it was good, but it was just like, okay. But the next day, I was like, why is there not more of this? It was hitting because the flavors had a chance to settle. And you can tell me if this is even a thing, DS. I feel that a lot of foods are better the second day, with the exception of smoothie. I don't like old smoothie. I always have to make my smoothies fresh. But let me know if that is a thing. Let's see. Let's go to some comments. Thank you. Looking better than great. Thank you. And you would not have believed this is thrown on, folks. This is actually thrown on. But it is what it is. This is why it helps to have a wardrobe that you have things you actually can wear and like to wear, and forming a capsule wardrobe of some sort. So in my head, I know everything that I have. And I have quite a few things because I do this all the time. So I made it my business to have changes of outfits, but I know what I have. So I don't necessarily need to get up and try it and make sure. I know in my head, today I want to wear this. And I know what I have already worn, like usually for the entire year, because, I'm doing MediaScope once a week. So, and if I'm unsure, I may go back and check an episode, but for the most part, I know what I've already worn. I know what I want to wear. So it's easy for me to throw things on. All right, let's keep going. Jay has also joined us. Welcome. Happy Saturday to you, Jay, my Pacific Northwest friend. And the food plane is Nashagon pancakes, eggs, home fries, bacon, and a little toasty toast. Wow. You can tell a chef when they say things like this. But breakfast is actually one of my favorite meals. It's, I don't know. I eat breakfast usually on a daily basis, but it's usually something small. So if I get a chance to do something like that, that's prime, prime, whatever. Okay. So let's see. Hannah says, it seems like I'm the only one on the wrong thread. I need to get with the others. So thank you for saying that. For those of you who don't know, there are two threads. I broadcast vertically and I broadcast horizontally. So if you're in the vertical thread, the thread that looks like this up and down, like you're holding your phone, you may not see everybody else, but you may see some new people. The vertical thread is where others can discover you. So for those of you looking to get into YouTube, I always suggest do both. Do the horizontal thread and do the vertical, because the vertical will pull in more people because you'll be in the shorts feed. So food for thought for this morning, since we're talking about food. And this is his favorite meal, DS's favorite meal. And DS is also saying hello to you, Hannah. And Hannah is cleaning out the kitchen pantry. Wow. All right. Well, it's time to throw out that seasoned salt from 1982. Okay. You know how we all like to keep seasonings, but we're like, seasonings don't spoil. Anyway, folks, let's get to it because I don't want to keep you the entire Saturday morning. So what we're going to do is play I didn't have time to change the intro this week. Super busy because, well, I'll tell you what happened after I play the intro. How about we do that? So we'll start with media and then we will get going. All right, so that is the old media intro. We'll change that for next week. Don't worry. So I was going to say that I think you all have seen on my feed that I got accepted to the Pharrell Williams Black Ambition Fundable Founders cohort network. It's Learning Lab, actually, but it's a really long name. So we started this week. We had our intro session on Thursday. I had a lot of stuff to do, so I didn't have time to do this. But mark my words, I'm going to get it done this weekend because we jump straight into the Learning Lab next week, Tuesday and Thursday. So I want to make sure I have everything set and ready for you. All right, we have some comments before we go. And joint specialist, hey, what's up? Oh my goodness, listen, joint specialist was one of my Periscope peeps. Long live Periscope indeed. And he's joining us on Twitch. How are you, joint specialist? It is fantastic to see you. I haven't seen you in forever. So this is a treat, a nice Saturday morning surprise. Thank you. And let's see. I did it again the last time you came to us live. Well, I remember last time you came to us live. What did I do again? I'm not quite sure. Let's see. And Well, we were kind of going to talk about this, but not really. So Bryson brought up the new Instagram logo. They changed it after 10 years. For those of you who didn't notice, I think that it is a problem for people who cannot read cursive. So people are keep talking about, oh, these Gen Z, they can't read cursive, but that's not the only problem. I don't think it's friendly to me for people that have vision problems, that are vision impaired. I think that's problematic. Now, I haven't read enough on it to see if that is actually a problem, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, that could be a Z, or that could, I don't know. Sometimes leave well enough alone. The whole thing is the original Instagram was already in cursive, but we were so used to it, what it looks like. So now they changed it to a different type of script, and I think it's throwing people off. I also think people just don't like change. So anyway, of all the things you could have done, you changed the branding. But after 10 years, I'm sure that is it. And Ron is here joining us from Martha's Vineyard. He has been doing photography at the Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival. And I've been so jealous because I've been trying to get there for years. So welcome in, my friend. Let's see. Will we get another live? Another live tomorrow? No? This is it for the week. Let's see. All right, so we'll come back to the comments, but let's talk about our first story, because I don't want to keep you all day, although I would love to be with you all day and just make it a MediaScope party. Let's go ahead and get our first story in. No, that's not the first one. This is the first one. We'll talk about that, unfortunately, after. All right, so let's talk about what's happening in the Spider-Verse, into the Spider-Verse. We talked about that last week, but Spider-Man, thus far, now we've started, this is the third weekend for Spider-Man. We don't have the numbers in yet. I didn't look for last night's numbers, and it's like really too early to tell. But so far, in North America, they have made an excess of 700 million in just 2 weekends, folks. In just 2 weekends, they have made in excess of 700 million. That's crazy, right? So again, Spider-Man Brand New Day has hit over 700 million at the domestic box office, which is all of North America. And guess what? This is one of only 7 movies to ever reach this milestone. Let's take this down so I can. 7 movies, only 7 movies ever have reached the milestone of 700 million plus in just 2 weekends. Is the box office coming back, folks? Is this what we're seeing? Or is this an anomaly? I know last week you all said that you really enjoyed this, so I am going to see it. Will it be this weekend? Perhaps. But is this an anomaly? Is this just a one-off? Are we in for some really mid films, some really lackluster films for the rest of the summer? And summer is basically over, but for the rest of the summer going into the fall, let me know. Let me know what you think. So let's keep going with this, and then I'll get to your comments. So far, the actual number is 704.5 million North America. Now, 1.8 billion worldwide, which means that it has grossed another 300 something plus million around the world. So the 700 is just in North America. The rest of the world is 300 so far in 2 weekends. So for the total 2 weekends worldwide, $1.8 billion for Spider-Man, A Brand New Day. You know there's going to be a Spider-Man 75, right? They're not stopping. The way Hollywood works is when something works, they go with it. So I'm not surprised if they're already penning the next script for the next iteration of Spider-Man. So let me tell you the movies that have ever reached this milestone in North America, right? The 700 million mark. In 2015, Star Wars The Force Awakens came in with 963 million. 2019's Avengers Endgame with 858 million. 2021 Spider-Man No Way Home, another Spider-Man, with 814 million. 2009's Avatar with 785 million. 2022's Top Gun Maverick with 721 million, and 2018's Black Panther with 700 million. And then add Spider-Man Brand New Day. Notice how many of these films are Marvel films. Black Panther, Spider-Man No Way Home, Avengers Endgame, and now Spider-Man Brand New Day. 4 of these films have been Marvel films. Clearly, Marvel is hitting. And I am a Marvel girl, more than a DC girl. I am a Marvel girl, so I'm not surprised. What say you all? Has anyone since last week gone to see Spider-Man A Brand New Day? Let me know. Let's take some comments here. Let's see. Hannah says, I'm throwing out the old stuff. I did find gourmet sherry wine from 1892. 1892? 18. Wow. Please ask DS if I can keep it or throw it out. Thanks. So, DS, should she throw out sherry from 1892? That's in excess of 100 years now. Can you still? I'm sure it's like vinegar at this point, but can she still keep it? Let us know, DS. And Hannah is saying good morning to Ron, as is DS. Bryson says Spider-Man Brand New Day went #1 and beat Avengers Endgame. It did. If you see numbers wise, it did. DiCarpio says, wow, unbelievable. You know, it is and it isn't. Remember my steak and peanuts analogy? When you have nothing else, peanuts taste like steak. So again, that's not a diss to or any disrespect to the movie, but look at how many movies we actually have out now that are in theaters. Not a whole lot, right? There are movies out, but there are not a whole lot out. So is it it's good from what you all have told me, but is it also a product of the scarcity of films that we have? And so this is what you go to see if you're going to the cinema, because what the hell else is at the cinema right now, right? Odyssey is still in cinema, obviously, and there's some other things, but nothing is really hitting those 2 films. You know, I'd hate to have my movie out up against those right now, but there's room for everybody. Room for everybody. Let's see. DiCarpio is laughing. Oh, and hey, Bree, is it Bry for and Jeff? Tell me what I should call you. Welcome in. And he says, yes, he has seen it. Yes, he has seen it. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you think without spoilers. I'm okay with spoilers, but other people may not be. So let me know what you think. Okay. And Jeff Diaz says, my wife just called me and said someone had a question. Who has a question? You have a question? Let me go back and see. Is it you, DS? If you have a question and I missed it, please let me know. Let's see. Jay says, I will wait to see Spider-Man when it comes to streaming. And I was thinking about doing the same thing. And if I keep humming and hawing, it might be streaming before I get to see it. And he also says, wow, absolutely. Let's see. I'm trying to say, it's one time before. Now you can slide. DS, let's see. The Will event the event that I was accepted into, will I be going live from there? Like I did last year. Thank you. It's all coming back now. Yeah, so they're doing it differently this year. So instead of the dinner, they did a kind of like a conference or a day of sessions. So I will definitely go live from there. When we do different meetups as well, I'll probably go live from there. So yes, sorry, I was like, what are you talking about? The events. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's see. Also, what else do we have? All right, so I think that's true for most box office smashes. There tends not to be competing major feature. Yeah, no, absolutely. That is true for most smashes. There's not a competing feature. But if we look at the movie industry overall, you tend not to have, you may get, think about when you go to your cinema, how many movies there are that are out. You may get, if you're lucky, 5, right? And that's a lot. And they're generally playing, especially if they're bigger, on different screens. So you don't have a whole lot of choice, but if you're the type of person that enjoys film and enjoys movies like I do, because I actually teach a film class. I teach a class called Understanding Movies for the university I teach at. So if you're the type of person that likes this, likes film, you don't have a whole lot of choices. So it is what it is, but I'm sure it's good. Again, let me know what you thought of it. Okay, let's see. So Food Plane says it's highly unlikely. Here we go. Don't go and crack open your bottle with wine glasses yet, or brandy sniffers, or whatever you use. It's highly unlikely she can drink it. However, it can be highly collectible. So don't throw it away because it's a collectible, but please, for the love of God, don't drink it. Please don't. You heard it here first. Don't throw it out. Capitalize on that bottle. Yeah, because if you don't want to keep it, if you were going to throw it away anyway, you could probably sell it. It's probably collectible. All right, and here we go. So it was an action-packed film. And tell me what you would like me to call you. Is Bri okay? Because I don't want to mess up your name. It was an action-packed film. They humanized Spider-Man with a lot of setbacks. The Punisher was in there with a lot of comic relief. I think it was a decent movie if you like action film. Okay, so decent is a step down from what everybody else was saying. People were like, oh, I left the theater crying. And so I'm like, really? From Spider-Man? But it is what it is. So it seems like it was a decent movie. Fantastic. Oh, Brian Jefferson. Brian. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. All right. So the Food Place said collectors will love it. Don't throw it away. So hopefully you can hear me as you're cleaning your pantry. Folks, this just in. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. I welcome you in on a Saturday morning. Here we go. My name is Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist. I'm going to put this up, but I still have to change the information on it. We're here usually on Fridays, but I'm liking the Saturday morning thing. I'm actually more energetic, and judging from the way I felt last night when I was going to come on and I was tired, maybe Saturday morning will be our new thing. And then some late night Fridays. We'll see. We'll see what to do. Let Ron Lewis Photos tell it. I'm supposed to be on like twice or 3 times a week. But, everybody is entitled to their opinion. But guess what? We're on all these platforms in addition to Gospel 107.1 FM in Nassau, Bahamas, and the rest of the Caribbean. I wish you blessings. And no, we're not a gospel show. They just happen to like this show, which is why we're on. And guess what? Everybody needs a little information about what's happening in media, tech, and pop culture. Dee said, I had a strong feeling the wine would be expensive if not open. Yeah, so don't open. Don't even look at it. Dust it off and either sell it or whatever the case may be. But you know what? Do some price comparisons. DS, you can probably give some insight as to this. Where would be the best place to sell it? Would be like eBay, or how would you best do that? Let me know. Okay, and blessings. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for those blessings. All right, guess what? We're off of Spider-Man and we're going to go to another story. So this is the one that I didn't, let's just talk about it because it is what it is. So, as if the ire from the first documentary was not enough. Melania Trump has gotten a new Amazon Prime Video docuseries. That's right, because it did fall flat. It did not do well. But I guess they're giving her a second chance. She's heading back to Amazon Prime Video. That's expected in the fall, with a new docuseries expected in the fall. And they're going to give her a longer form follow-up to Melania. Now, for those of you who don't know, Melania was the documentary that was produced by Amazon Prime, which she got 40 million for. I believe they spent 20 million on it, and she walked away with another 20 million, but it did not really do well by numbers, right? I guess you would call that a very niche audience for that film, but it appears they're not risk adverse with this one, and they're going to go for it again. So apparently it's a 2-part docuseries, and they're saying it's completely unique. It's a story that has not been told yet, and it's shot in a different way. Okay. So Brett Ratner, if you remember, was the person who directed this. The disgraced from Hollywood, Brett Ratner, did this. And it followed the 20 days leading up to Trump's 2025 inauguration, right? That was the first one. So, as I told you, $40 million for the rights. And so I was short. 40 million was for the rights to this. Another 35 million was spent on marketing. So in addition to the 40 million they spent overall for that, for the rights, 35 million went on the marketing of that. However, in its theatrical run, it brought about 16.6 million worldwide after a domestic opening of 7 million. So they did lose on that one. So the agreement, though, also covered having a follow-up series, which is why we're seeing this now. So anyway, the reception for the first film was very divided, and critics gave the film a 10% on a score of 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. And audiences, that went to see it, rated it 99%. Now, again, we know there's a little bit of bias there, but what that did is make it one of the sharpest and widest gaps in terms of a film between the critics and then what the audience said. That's really wide. All right. Well, no premiere date has been announced yet. And what's clear, though, is that this gives her an even bigger footprint on Prime Video. Put a 1 in the chat if you care. Okay. So let's see. Stores, they might know someone. Just ask ChatGPT any questions about it. And that's for you, Hannah. There we go. All right. So that's it for that story. And I'm ready to move on. Who else? Raise your hand. Let's keep going. Folks, we have just a few more stories to do. We are almost at time. Well, we go to 1 o'clock. Basically, we're almost at time, but we have some more stories. Let's take a look at what's happening on Twitch. I know we have at least one person who is watching us on the Twitch app, which, by the way, is owned by Amazon, in case you did not know. Amazon acquired Twitch some years ago. So keep telling you guys, only about 5 companies own everything in media and beyond. All right. So if you're on Twitch, pay attention to this. Twitch they've actually changed how creator content can be used for Amazon's AI development. And you may not realize that you've already been included in this. There's a new account setting in Twitch which allows Amazon to use material from Twitch channels to train their generative AI models. And the option is already automatically switched on for every user. So if you're a Twitch user, I'm a Twitch user, it automatically came switched on. So I'll tell you what to do about it in a minute. So streams, video on demand, clips, chat logs, and channel images are all covered unless you manually opt out. Let me come back on because this is too important not to have my face showing. Okay, so this is how you opt out of this if you are on Twitch. So this is a media story, but it's also a tech story. We've got some crossovers today. So what you're going to do is at the bottom of Twitch's security settings, under the label, allow your channel content to train generative AI content models at Amazon, you're going to switch that off. So again, it's a toggle button that's at the bottom of Twitch's security settings. So you go into your security settings, it's at the bottom. It says, allow your channel content to train generative AI content models at Amazon. So if you turn that off, that prevents future use of a channel's content for AI training purposes. However, it does not disable Twitch's existing AI-powered features. Right? So up until that point that you switch it off. Tools like AutoMod and automated captions will continue working, and Twitch says these systems do not retain user data for model training, so they say. So if you're on Twitch and you don't want your content, your live streams, your video on demand, your thumbnails, any graphics, if you do not want that used for training generative AI, make sure you switch off that toggle button under security settings. Just curious, a show of hands, or let me know yes. How many of you are using Twitch or are on Twitch? Just let me know. Let's see. Hey, good afternoon. Anthony is here. Anthony Roland Photography is here. It was good to be on Ron's show with you yesterday. Welcome. And Joy Specialist says, I don't mind if Twitch trains AI on my comments because they are bangers and the model needs good data. You know, you are right. The way that you get good data, unfortunately, is by allowing it to train on your model. But there's a catch-22 there, right? That it also can take ideas that you don't want out there. And so I would say if you have something, well, first of all, you shouldn't be streaming it if it's proprietary. But if it's something like a generative AI model, something like a Chat GPT or a Claude, and you're putting in your entire business plan, make sure it's on private, or that you don't allow it to train AI models, because that's your IP that is out there. But you've then given them permission to do so. So just be careful. Let's see. Ed DeSava is here. Hello, my dear. Not twitching. Fantastic. And Hannah says, I'm behind on the live. I received a call from my son. Oh, how nice. Wonderful. Well, good. I hope you were behind on the live, but we hope that you did not open that bottle of brandy from 1892, because while you cannot drink it, there are people that are collectors that might be willing to buy it from you. And you can ask, DS said you can ask wine shops or stores, and if they know anybody that would be interested in that. So, and it's in the chat as well. Did I do good, DS? Good morning. Thank you for being here. All right, folks. So that is what's happening on Twitch. If you are a Twitcher, please make sure that if you don't want it to train Amazon's AI using yours IP, make sure you toggle off that button under security settings. Wow. We're rolling right along, right? Look at us already on story 4. I love this for us. All right, let's do this. Let us go to our next story. And this next story happens to be all about the roking of the coup. Roku. What's happening over at Roku? Well, Roku has actually given AI Slop its own free 24/7 channel. And apparently it's very interesting. I'm sure it's kind of like an AI public access. Remember public access, folks? So Roku has added Fairground AI Creator TV. It's called Fairground AI Creator TV, and it's a 24/7 channel filled with AI generated series, films, and shorts across sci-fi, drama, animation, comedy, true crime, and other genres. And it's available free with ads through the Roku channel. And this is one of the biggest leaps yet for synthetic video in the home. I really want to know what you all think about this. So we can call it AI slop, but again, I told you all that I have been taking AI film classes, and there's actually a lot of art to it. So I think a channel like this could be a great home for those people who want to create series and films and content that is AI generated. I think we've all been very hesitant, and I shouldn't say all of us, but many of us have been hesitant because this AI content has been mixed in with what we normally see, and we're like, that's AI, or come on, stop with the AI. But if there is a dedicated place for you to gather your AI content, tell me, would you watch it? Are you into AI content, or does it bother you? Would it make a difference that there's a dedicated place for this to live? Let me know. Let me know. Let's see. So D says, I have Roku TV, but I always watch Netflix. And this is the thing. I think we've had to get used to some of these newer streamers. And even though Roku Box has been there for a while, the Roku channel is relatively new. So it takes effort to actually say, let me go watch the Roku channel. I've actually been trying to put effort into doing that to see what's there and what's live. And there's just so much content. And here's the thing. Not only do I have a Roku box, I have 3 Rokus because I've got 3 different TVs, but I've also got 2 smart TVs. So I have an LG TV. I'm pointing over there because that's where it is. I have an LG TV, which has LG channels. And by the way, a lot of these channels are duplicated because they're FAST, free ad-supported television. That's what FAST stands for. So they're duplicated on different television sets, duplicated on things like Roku, Chromecast, Fire TV. So you'll find duplication of these channels and the content, but there's still an awful lot of content out there to be discovered. D says, I'm going to check it out. Yeah, I need to find it and check it out, and I will report back once I see that and let you know where it is and what it is and if it's any good, right? Or if it's truly slop, because it could be good. I've seen some amazing AI work. I actually watched online through the person that does the classes. What is her name? She's an AI whiz, and she was the one that taught the AI film class. It will come to me. So she is in charge of the Chicago AI Film Festival, but you can watch it online. Oh my goodness. The level of artistry that people came up with in terms, just beautiful, because there's storytelling there as well. It's not just give it a prompt. You actually have to come up with the script, and there's some wonderful storytelling that went on there. So I'd be down to see that. I'd be down. So this channel comes from Fairground Entertainment, founded by former Zumo chief Colin Petrie Norris. And they said they've worked with over 100 AI filmmakers around the world, and they raised $4 million in funding led by ad tech company Viant Technology. So they're also looking well past Roku. So Roku is not their only stop. They have plans to bring their programming to several connected TV and FAST platforms, as I was saying. So that is kind of cool. So if you are a person that creates AI film, and you know what? I need to drop this article inside the chat that we have on School. We use the platform School, and see if anybody knew about this, because this could be another place for exhibition. See, there are so many opportunities in media that we just have to take advantage of. So rather than being, oh, get off my lawn, AI, let's find out how we can use it to our advantage. Yes, have a healthy fear of it, but it exists, so use it for good. And I think making a beautiful AI film is a way to do it, or good AI content. So Diaz says this: AI used in Hollywood is is used in Hollywood in most movies today, mingled with live action. Absolutely. The problem is that it really you have to prompt it well. AI is still not there yet where you like, here, take this prompt and it's perfect the first time. For most people, even notice when you prompt AI, notice when you put in a prompt and you do something and they're like, oh, I forgot, I have this change. Can you add this? And then all of a sudden I'm like, but I didn't say to put her hand through her eye. I didn't say to do that. You have all these changes. So you have to be very careful when you're prompting and save your prompts. Have a running list of your prompts so that you can go back to them. So you're right, DS. They are using it, but again, to the chagrin of some actors and some directors, etc., in Hollywood, because they feel like it is taking jobs. And in a sense, yes, but also, what are you doing for that not to happen? What are you doing for that not to be the case? Right? How can you stop this? Because we all have an opportunity to, all right, fine. You've heard the thing. If you can't beat them, join them. Right. Great. All right. You now need to use AI to create things and then also remember, AI is never going to replace the human touch. It is never going to replace human emotion, regardless of how good it gets and how much it can replicate humans. It will never replicate the human spirit. So just remember that. But, don't be stupid either. Learn how to use it. Learn how to use it. So Brian says this: AI covers such a broad range of technologies. It's any technology that appears to imitate human-like intelligence or capability. Absolutely, at 100%. And we know that the term AI is older. The term AI actually that book, it was written in a book, and it came about, I want to say it was in the 70s. I want to say 1970, but I could be wrong. I need to check on the dates. But that term is even old, artificial intelligence. And we've been using things that are, quote, artificially intelligent for a long time. It's just now it is in the mass adoption stage, right? Let me not get too professory, but it was a novelty before, but now it's in the mass adoption stage, which is why we are paying more attention to it. Anthony says this: as an anime fan, go anime. AI films are the future. So many live action films flop because you don't have the action and the magic that anime has. AI will bring that hyper reality that anime is known for. I agree. And do we know how tiresome animation is? To actually, for example, hand draw animation. I remember years ago, the Aaron Magruder and his comic strip, The Boondocks? I haven't read comics in a long time in the newspaper, so I don't even know if it's still a strip in the newspaper, but then The Boondocks became a series. At the time it became a series, because we're talking like early 2000s now, Aaron Magruder was still drawing out everything by hand, frame by frame. It was not computer generated. So now, even with computer generation, you're still doing things. It's still tedious because you're putting all the effort into it. So AI assisted animation, absolutely, especially for anime, because I think the thing with anime and lots of film in general, but let's say anime in particular, overseas, the thing is to, yes, create masterpieces, but also to get the message out there to people. And you can't do that if you're spending 7 years animating one thing. Does that make sense? So I see the promise in AI for media and for entertainment, but absolutely it covers a gamut of different things beyond media and entertainment as well. DeSava says, go ahead and get professory with you. Fantastic. Well, I just started a new class this week, understanding movies. So the movies thing was timely and right on point. All right. So folks, thank you for joining us. We're still going. We still have a few more to do. Actually, we have like one more story to go, about one more story to go. So I probably will make that a tech story, even though we got 5 stories in today in media. I'm going to decide, but let me do a quick break here. I'm Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist, and you are watching MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We are on, usually I'm thinking we're going to make Saturdays our main thing with augments of Friday nights at 7 p.m., right? But we're also on Gospel 107.1 FM, Nassau, Bahamas, and the rest of the Caribbean. We love that for us. And if you are on YouTube and you've never seen me before, hi. But I'd also love it if you want to come back and you like what I'm doing, subscribe, and also hit that notification bell because it will let you know when I go live, because sometimes it is just impromptu, folks. Sometimes it just is. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. So you know what? That was story 4. Let's go and have one more story. Let's see what we're going to bring. You know what? We'll do a pop culture story, right? Why don't we do a pop culture story? Here we go. All right. So let's talk a little bit about everybody's favorite. I can't say everybody's favorite. Some people's favorite fast food restaurant and what they have going on there with them. They're with them. Let me just put it up. All right, McDonald's, go! McDonald's is giving the process of saying I do a saucy makeover with personalized packets for weddings. So you could probably see in there like some little packets of sauce and such. So McDonald's, but this is in the UK, but don't be surprised if we see this on this side of the pond. They're making a case for not just fries on the side, but fries on the side with a little cup of personalized dip. They're inviting couples to switch out the traditional wedding favors with customized sauce pots. So, I wish I would have put this in, but they have on there, will say like just married. So you might have for them, they have sweet curry sauce and it has just married. That's kind of cool. So they've launched wedding flavors. It's a limited edition campaign that features, that gives 20 couples the chance to serve personalized McDonald's sauce pots alongside fries at their wedding reception. Are any of you doing fries at your wedding reception? Or did you do fries at your wedding reception? Would you do fries? And have you done fries or McDonald's at your wedding reception? Interesting. So rather than handing guests the usual accoutrement like sugared almonds or like little keepsakes that are going to be in a drawer soon anyway, probably, they're leaning into this growing appetite for late night comfort food, and it doubles as a memorable party favor. But there's sauce in it. It's like the 10,000-year-old brandy that Hana has. You don't want to use it after a while. And I don't know. I don't like the thought of keeping sauce. I don't know. Anyway. But you could do things like Angela and Brad say I do, or, little things on there. In fact, shall I show you? Let's see. Well, let me keep going. So the winning couple will receive each winning couple, I should say, because there are 20 that will be selected, will receive up to 150 customized sauce pots and 150 portions of McDonald's fries. The lids can be printed with personalized messages, while the outer sleeve offers additional space for bespoke artwork or wording. This is interesting. Please let me know what you think. Would you do this? Let's take some comments. And we got McDonald's, yep. Or some people say we got McDonald's at home, right? So this is also, you think it's a cool idea. All right. Hannah says, it's sherry cooking wine that you were talking about. And DeSalva says, wow, interesting marketing. Very interesting indeed. Now, I don't know if that's something I do, but I think it is very cool. And let me tell you why. I was enamored. If you remember the show Sex and the City, of course we remember that show. But if you remember when Miranda got married to, what was the husband's name? The one that owned the bar. I don't remember. And they lived in Brooklyn. But when Miranda got married, they got married at this little quaint little park space, and it was a small wedding, and they did not do a typical reception. They went to a diner afterwards, and since it was a small wedding, they all got diner food. I think that is the coolest idea. So I can see this as like kind of a cool thing, although this is what you would actually be serving guests at a reception. And how do you keep them hot? Cold fries are like trash. Anyway, but I think it's a cute marketing idea, and it is definitely a win for McDonald's UK. But don't be surprised if we see that type of thing on this side of the pond as well. D. Carpio says, I don't know if many people would have a reception at McDonald's, right? But I'm sure they're providing it for you. But yeah, to have a reception at McDonald's. But here's the thing. There have been fast food restaurants who have done that. For example, the couple loved that place so much that they would like rent out I just saw this. It wasn't McDonald's. I can't remember, but it was like a fast food restaurant, and they loved it so much, but they actually rented it out and they served that as their food, but they had it nicely done as a wedding reception venue, but it was that restaurant, and I can't remember, but it's been done before. I'm down for anything that you want. If you like it, I like it for you. Doesn't matter what I think. All right. Yes. Oh, yes. The diner. Yeah. I think diner is a cool idea. All right. And you know what? That's where we're leaving it, at those 5 stories. Don't get on me, because we could actually have just done one like we've done in the past and spent like half an hour on one story, but we moved quickly, and I hope you enjoyed those stories. As always, remember, you can send me any story ideas to my Instagram at Dr_Tachi. I would love to get them. If you have any media tech or pop culture stories you would love me to cover, Joint Specialist says, themed pots for birthdays, graduations, stuff other than weddings. I can see. Absolutely. Don't think it stops at weddings. The marketing mind is always working. Similar to what you could do with M&Ms. You could go to the M&M site and have printed M&Ms for your wedding or for other things. Listen, weddings are big business, so that's why you hear weddings, but definitely this would work, and it's been done with other countries. Absolutely, absolutely. So interested in its, oh, wait a minute. Interested in its age. You must be talking about the sherry. All right, hop on late, so I will go back to catch the replay. Have a great weekend. Absolutely. Thank you, DeSalva, for hopping on late or whatever. I love it. Folks, so that is about it. Thank you. Oh, nice to see you, Dr. Tachi. Glad MediaScope is back. Thank you. I'm glad it's back too, and I'm glad you all are back with me. So next week, I will be better about sending out. We have a fair number of people here today, but I will be sending out, make sure I do it on time. I think we're going to stick with Saturday mornings between 11 and 12. Between 11:45 and 12 will be the start time, and we'll go to 1 o'clock. But I love you all for watching. So, let's do the ending. Thank you so much for watching. I love you for watching. I bid you adieu, you guys, myself, and these damn McDonald's packets. How about we all exit stage left? Until next week, my friends. Cheers.
Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you on your way. The content it never stays, but positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted.